5 seconds to go. Start. Yours is a conference of highly technical people, and you have asked a non technical person to inaugurate it, perhaps because it is the non technical people who have to get advantage of it, and especially as head of government here, I am certainly very much interested in the very valuable work that all of you have been doing in the tasks that you have undertaken. Geotechnical engineering is very vital for many of our activities in the present day world of science and technology, where we are trying to take advantage of the valuable resources that nature can give us, and also of how to utilize them, because that is the problem which is even more vital. But it is possible to understand nature and its laws and to accord it to ourselves, to those laws in the working of nature, so that we can take maximum advantage of what nature can provide us, whether it is flood control, or whether it is irrigation, or whether it is mere structure. It has got to be borne in mind to match constructions, or now as we are looking into the seabeds and trying to take advantage of the inexhaustible wealth that is supposed to lie therein. This knowledge and skill with which you have endowed yourselves are very vital if you have to make the profitable use of all these natural resources. The buildings that are built now are also complicated and are very high, tall, going up to 50 to 60 stories. And unless the foundations are properly designed and arranged, there can be disaster in the same way. We now know there are several earthquake prone areas, and it is possible also to forecast earthquake, though we have not yet been able to get adequate knowledge to free ourselves completely. But I am sure in course of time we will be able to know them. Natural laws are definite and unchangeable, and if they are known, you can certainly see that those laws do not act against us, but we can so behave ourselves that they act to our advantage. If these laws had not been so definite and unchangeable and perfect, it would not have been possible for man to know some of these things and go to the moon. What we have acquired today is a very small part of the total knowledge of the universe. As a matter of fact, I do not consider anything marvelous or anything as miracle. Everything is in conformity with the laws of the universe. We call them miracles or marvelous because we do not know them. And as we know something quite, but we do not expect, then we consider them miracle. But that should make us something and should enable us to dwell more and more into the depths of this knowledge, so that in the modern world we can have a better, meaningful human society which works for the benefit of the whole human society. We have not yet reached that stage. There are people who are in want, and even those who have plenty are not happy. That also requires to be gone into side by side. Everything you take, if man is not happy, then it is not worth. But if one is happy in spite of circumstances, then one has achieved peace of mind. And if peace of mind is obtained, you can bear with this field of knowledge for more successfully and with greater effect, precision, and even speed. I hope, therefore, that you will, in your deliberations on the technical matters, also got into this matter of working with peace of mind so that your efforts become more and more effective and successful. I have only pointed this out to you, not with a feeling that you are not aware of these things, but because you are engineers. It is a fundamental condition that if engineering is to succeed, it must be done coolly and calmly, considering all the circumstances that are available. That is the foundation of all engineering. I am sure you are aware of these things, but as a layman, I do not think I can tell you anything about the technical matters. I can only tell you how technical matters can be utilized and more progress can be made in technical matters from technology. Ultimately, that is what is going to be utilized. That is how it is going to be used. Therefore, these are conditions which are necessary for all of us. In this country, there is a difference. We have inherited several things which enable us to keep calm and not be get into tension. That is what I have seen in my travels all over the world. I find in this country people have more smiles on their face. The poorest man has a smile on his face. Whereas in the affluent countries, I find there is tension and he is in a hurry and impatience, which many a times lead us to disaster. Stop.